Hey guys, Dr. J here. Today I would like to show you a few strategies you can use to defeat the Penetrator demon. In case you didn't rescue Bjorn of the Twin Fangs, if you have saved him, he'll make this a completely free fight, and you won't have to worry about using any kind of strat. Just like any other boss in Demon Souls, using a mage build is the easiest way to kill him. We'll start off with the Soul Ray strat. I'll be using the Insanity Catalyst and the Chris Blade, but if you don't have the Insanity Catalyst yet, a wooden catalyst will work just fine. Make sure you have at least a couple of fresh spies when you're attempting to kill the Penetrator though. He's quite beefy. Okay, I believe there's nothing else to talk about this fight, so let's get it started. The Penetrator has several types of attack, but each of them is heavily telegraphed, and thus very easy to avoid. Our strategy will revolve around keeping enough distance from him so he doesn't hit us, and using the Soul Ray right after he starts an attack. He may occasionally try to dodge our Soul Ray, but he really sucks at it. And that's pretty much it. We'll need to use a fresh spice at least twice during the fight, but as long as he is far enough away from us, we should have plenty of time to do that. We just got hit, but that's not an issue. He only has one attack that could one-shot us, and that one is super easy to avoid, so you don't really have to worry about dying. Well, there we go. Just like that, we killed the Penetrator. There is actually one more spell we can use against him, and that's what I'll be demonstrating next. This time I'll be using the Fire Spray. Against normal enemies, this spell is not particularly useful, but for this particular boss fight, it's arguably even better than the Soul Ray. This is because the Fire Spray spell is the only one you can cast while moving, and since the Penetrator is rather slow, you can just keep circling him while casting the spell. As long as you don't get cornered, you won't even have to dodge his attacks, and the arena is more than big enough, so it would be pretty much impossible to get cornered. You still need to use at least 2 units of fresh spice, but that's no more difficult than if you were using the Soul Ray strat. So yeah, using the Fire Spray spell is really the easiest way to defeat the Penetrator. This is the second time we'll be replenishing our mana, and shortly afterwards we should be able to kill him. There we go. Okay, those were the 2 spells useful against the Penetrator. Obviously, we could have used the Soul Arrow or the Flame Toss as well. The strat would have been the same as with the Soul Ray, it would have just taken a bit more time. Next, I'll show you how to kill him if you prefer using a bow. For this demonstration, I'll be using the white bow and heavy arrows. You can easily get the white bow from 4-2, and Patches sells unlimited amount of heavy arrows. Our movement will be pretty much the same as the Soul Ray strat. The only difference is that we don't have to replenish our mana, making this slightly easier compared to using magic. Just like the last 2 times, make sure you're out of range of his attacks and then shoot an arrow at him. Obviously, I misjudged our distance this time, but it doesn't matter. Like I said, only one of his attacks can one-shot us. This is the attack that can one-shot us. If his sword starts glowing like this, you have to move away from him. It is a thrust attack, so if you just strafe left or right, he's guaranteed to miss it. Also, you may occasionally put him in a loop where he's constantly trying to dodge your arrows, which makes it even easier to kill him. Just a few more arrows and he's dead. Okay, well, that was the last of the easy strats. Next, I'll show you a couple of ways you can kill him if you're using a melee build. It is significantly tougher compared to a ranged build though. For the first melee strat, I'll be using a slow, powerful weapon. I chose the meat cleaver since it's fairly easy to craft it. It's very slow, so you really have to learn the boss's attack patterns and how to dodge them. But once you do, you can actually kill him fairly quickly. We'll be two-handing the cleaver, so it deals a bit more damage. The main issue with using a melee weapon is that you really have to know when to dodge, since we'll be permanently within the range of his weapon, and the only time we can hit him is right after we've dodged one of his attacks. The good thing about using the meat cleaver is that we'll often be able to stagger the Penetrator, making it a bit easier to dodge his next attack. And just as I said it, I failed at doing that. If your health gets that low, it's probably a good idea to get away from him and heal. It was pure luck he didn't kill me with his last attack. Anyway, we just need to hit him a few more times and he's dead. So yeah, killing him with a melee weapon is very much possible, but you should be fairly good at dodging to be able to pull it off. If you're not that confident, the next strat I'm going to show you may be more your cup of tea. For this demonstration, I'll be using the tower shield and a winged spear +5, though any good shield or spear should work just as well. We'll be using the shield just as a safety measure, in case we're not able to dodge the Penetrator's attack. The idea here is to mostly stay out of range of his swords, but close enough so the R2 attack of your spear is able to reach him. You're pretty much guaranteed to get hit by his follow-up attack, but by that time you should be able to block it with your shield. The only time you need to dodge is when his sword starts glowing. Overall, this strat is fairly safe. It's unlikely you'll get killed, but it will require the usage of quite a lot of healing items, since you'll be constantly getting damaged. But by the time you're facing the Penetrator, you should have more than enough healing items anyway. So yeah, that's about it for this strat. I'll fast forward the rest of the fight, since, while a pretty safe strat, it's also the longest one. One more hit should do it. It's probably a good idea to heal once we get below half health, but obviously we should be using the healing item once we're at a safe distance. Anyway, the Penetrator is dead and we're done with this boss fight. Tomorrow I'll show you the different ways to defeat the Armored Spider boss. I hope the video was useful to you, and if it was, I would appreciate it if you press the like button, or leave a comment, or both. In any case, goodbye and see you next time.